think of them? Okay,
Yes.
okay, good.
Yes.
Good talk.
Saying, we have good people there.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Monticello City Council to order. Would you please rise and in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Reed? Mr. Woodham? Mr. Carey?
Here.
Ms. Lively? Ms. June? Here. Mr. Burris?
Here.
Mr. Broderick?
Here.
Mr. Kuhn?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Public participation, in-person participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. Those wishing to speak are required to sign in prior to commencement of the meeting and must address council from the seat and table provided. The public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. And I don't see any strangers in here tonight. Remote participation. This is an opportunity for the public to provide public comment to the presiding officer. The public comments must comply with ordinance 2014-02 and be limited to 5 minutes or less. At this time, members of the public are able to attend public meetings by web conference and to submit public comment by email, voicemail, or through web conference. Anyone more?
Yeah.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Approval of item documents and action items as listed. Claims report, claims dated July 28, 2026 through August 10th, 2026. Meeting minutes, city council meeting minutes, July 27, 2026. Closed session meeting minutes, July 13, 2026. Permit report, July 2026. Police report, July 2026. Fire report, July 2026. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions, city staff? Hearing or seeing none, may I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Reed?
Yes.
Mr. Carey?
Yes.
Ms. June? Yes. Mr. Burris? Mr. Broderick?
Yes.
Mr. Kuhn?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Mayor's report. Partisan candidate packets for residents interested in running for Ward 1 through 4 alderperson or city clerk are available for pickup at the municipal building. Independent candidate packets can be picked up beginning on August the 25th. Upcoming events, tractors and trains in the Southern 401 in steam this weekend at the Monticello Railway Museum. The Monticello Theater Association's youth production of Finding Nemo Jr. is August 14th through 16th. The Monticello Summer Singers Finale Concert is this Sunday, August 16th at 3:00 p.m. at the Monticello United Methodist Church. The MHS football home game opener is next Friday, August the 21st. The Kirby Auxiliary Market on the Prairie is August 22nd, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Kirby Active Gym. Okay, new business, fiscal year 2027 tax revenue discussion only. Terry?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to take some time this evening just to go over some preliminary projected revenues for FY 2027. Maura and I have been working on revenues and some other items within that 2027 budget. All the department heads have their own spreadsheet to start working, plugging, chugging numbers in for their individual departments. So we will be hitting the ground running here, fine tuning the budget, hot and heavy probably next month. But I wanted to kind of go over some revenues and get any thoughts and ideas from you all before, and maybe we can fine tune the revenues, Maura and I, in the near future. So you should have about 9 pages. I will try to go over it as quick as possible. The page 1, they're all numbered at the bottom right corner of each sheet. Page 1, the FY 2027 general fund revenue sources. This includes no bonds. So, and I'll get into that a little bit deeper a little later, but if you recall, we had bonds issued for the aquatic center that expired in 24. Then we reissued bonds to keep that, the tax collected on the property taxes. It wasn't an additional tax. It just maintained that tax towards the property tax. And we did that in 24. It expires this year in 26. We used that 750, if you recall, the $750,000 that you guys voted for in the FY 24 budget. We used that for the pavement reconstruction projects of Grant Street and Buchanan Street. So we got $750,000. We paid a contractor that, and then we repaid, it was a debt service, right, over the next 3 years of, I forget what the total was, 205,000 or something thereabouts. So this includes no bonds. And again, that debt service or that levy expires December of this year. So we'll be talking about reissuing that levy for the next 3 years, maintaining that on the property tax, not eliminating that from the property tax. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then use that for identified capital improvements, assets, projects, name it, for capital improvements. So as you can see, page 1, the CPPRT, we're estimating 1.6 million. That's 29% of the revenues. Sales tax, we're estimating a little less than 1.4%. That's 25% of the revenues. Property tax is 18% of our revenues at a little over $1 million projected. Income tax, a little over $1 million is 20%. The state use tax, I'll kind of get into that a little bit later as well. 74,000 and change, and miscellaneous revenues, just shy of 244,000. Miscellaneous revenues, that's cleanup week revenues, Livingston Center usage, planning zoning board, building permits, various licenses, fines, accident reports, interest, a whole multitude of revenues that fall under the miscellaneous revenues. So that's what we're preliminarily projecting, a little over 5.8 million.
It's a 3% there. What is that?
Couldn't tell. Wouldn't that be, where did I see it? Like, the other taxes we get the cannabis tax, where did I see all that?
This miscellaneous,
Miscellaneous is the 4%. Miscellaneous revenue.
Miscellaneous was 4%.
No, maybe I didn't see, I thought I saw it somewhere.
Might be gaming.
Oh, that goes,
Oh, yeah, it's on there, probably gaming and cannabis and probably grocery tax.
Where's the grocery tax that's gone now? Is it showing up on here some? Not, was it
Not showing up.
It is,
not showing up?
it is not included in the preliminary number. We will talk about that tonight. So any other questions on page 1? Page 2 is kind of a breakdown of historical data for the corporate personal property replacement tax. That's a state shared revenue, and as you can see, can and does fluctuate. Keep in mind the state shared revenues can come and go at the whim of the state of Illinois. And the state of Illinois' fiscal budget does not mimic ours. Theirs goes July 1 to June 30. So there, the state is in their FY 2027. So we've kind of got to play with the numbers on state shared revenues, what they're projecting for their 27 doesn't mimic our FY 27. So we utilize a lot of historical data to try to dial it in as much as possible. The city's estimating 1.6 million in the CPPRT for our FY 27. The state's FY 27 for CPPRT estimates 1.8 million. So we're trying to be a little bit conservative there. Obviously, the years 2022, 2023, there was a huge surplus in the CPPRT, and we just left that in reserves and built Overheim Park. Page 3, sales tax. So circling kind of back to state shared revenues in 2025, the Illinois changed how out-of-state sales are taxed, and they created a retailer's occupation tax instead of the use tax. So the retailer's occupation tax now goes towards the overall sales tax, and the use tax decreased. So on the next page, we'll get into the use tax. So city estimates 1,434,000 for our FY 27, which is a 5% increase from 2026, and that's based on the final 2025 numbers. So the final 2025 was 1,437,000 and 146. 2026 numbers is what the council approved for 2026. We obviously don't have final 2026 numbers. So that's based on the final 2025 numbers with a 5% increase for 2027. Then on page 4, you see the use tax that I spoke of earlier. Some of that was, let's say, reallocated into the overall sales tax. So our FY 2027 projection is 74,415, which would be a 10% increase from the approved 2026 number. And that again is based on the final 2025 number of $93,764. Any questions on the use tax? Okay. Page 5, property tax rate. This is historical data, tax rate payable in 2019 to 2026. You can see all the tax rates vary from 0.75 all the way up to 0.79. All of these included a 4.9% increase to the property tax each one of those years approved by the council. And I did include a 4.9% increase for 2027, which would be approximately $1,016,400. Now getting back to the non-referendum tax levy that we continued on the property tax dating all the way back to the Aquatic Center. We continued it in 24, 25, 26 for Grant Street and Buchanan Street. So that was again brought in $220,000 thereabouts. And that's based on I think it's equalized assessed value of the community. So in late 23, that figure was at $750,000. In 2026, that has increased $750,000 to just shy of $1 million. So if you were to continue that on the property tax, that would bring in about $325,000. So does that make sense? If you leave it on the tax rolls, you're going to get $1 million, and then it increased the property tax that's been increased since.
So we have paid off the pool.
Mhm. Yeah.
We paid off Buchanan and Grant Street, or we will pay off. So if we continue this, it's just bringing in money for another project that we don't have named yet,
Another project, equipment, assets
that we don't have named.
that we don't have identified tonight.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do the fires and police at some point. We've had studies about that.
Yeah, so thank you, Mike. The engineers, Chief Rupke, Chief Ross, city staff have reviewed the several different renderings, floor plans for the police, fire, and city administration building. We're looking forward to getting the cost opinion in early September. So we will know more. I will know what kind of number we're looking at. That non-referendum levy, you can go much higher than that 1 million. You can go nearly to $12 million. That will affect your property tax.
We can do that without a referendum, you're saying.
Or you could do a referendum, either way. So if the council chooses to do $7 million, $8 million, I don't know, new fire station, new police station, renovations to City Hall, if you choose to do that, then, I mean, that is an option you could do. And that project could begin in 2027. And begin by do all the engineering, all the permitting, all the plans, really in 2027. And then maybe bid the project out in late 2027. Current construction costs starts in 2028. The house, 315 East Center Street, where the diaper pantry is located, their lease runs out at the end of 2026. We'll probably ask council to at least sign a new 1-year lease through 2027. If you choose to pull the trigger on the project, give them another year's lease while we're doing the design, fine tuning everything, getting the bid packages ready. And then 2027, December of 27, they'd have to find a new location. That would give them a year to find something, hopefully. So does that make sense? Page 6 is a different version of your property tax. Shows historical data from 2019 to 2026. Each one of those years, 4% increase, 3% increase, 5%, 7%, 6.5%. And
What these numbers reflect is that on a
I don't know, it's like a
$250,000?
$200,000 house, thereabouts. If the Pike County tax assessor assesses your property differently, that, we have no control over that. Just FYI. So that's just another chart, show you some property tax. Page 7. This one always kind of stands out to those. This is where your property tax percentages go by taxing body. School district gets 56. This is average 2019 through 2026. School district gets 56%, Pike County gets 17%, the city gets 12%, Parkland College gets 8%, Allerton Library 3%, the township gets 2%, Road District gets 1%, Forest Preserve gets 1%. So I would always encourage the council to keep that one readily available when people bring up the property tax to you. It's interesting numbers. Page 8, the income tax, again, payable 19 to 26. For 2027, the city estimates 1,089,000. That's a 10% increase. Which is 6% more than the final. It's 10% increase over the approved 2026, but it's a 6% increase over the final 2025 number of 1,135,712. So a lot of numbers kind of thrown at you from left field on page 9. And I'll end with all these numbers, kind of where the budget's kind of looking like right now. Municipal grocery tax. So this was a hot topic last year for this council in particular. The state of Illinois eliminated the grocery sales tax effective January 1, 2026, which was merely a pass-through tax to local government. Right? And then the state of Illinois said, well, the local government, you guys can impose the 1% grocery tax if you so want to. So you have to do that and file it with the Department of Revenue on or before October 1st for it to go into effect January 1 of 2027. I've got in the paragraph right above the chart, I first introduced this, I don't know, the middle of last year. I indicated all the East Central Illinois towns that already voted in favor of imposing their own 1% sales tax, and then mentioned over 400 other units of local government approved this grocery tax to begin January 1 of this year. So if you recall, Callie was trying to find the Department of Revenue information. What does that mean for the city of Monticello? Because grocery tax was never separated out of sales tax. We couldn't find a number to bring to council for you to approve. At the first initial thought, based upon other city managers and what they were kind of looking at doing, we thought we would witness maybe upwards of $200,000. That was the first number I mentioned about middle of last year. Still, we had no data to go by. So when I came to the actual budget discussion, I was extremely conservative and showed you a $50,000 figure. That's when shortly thereafter, the council decided, I think it was a tight vote, but the council decided to not impose the 1% grocery tax. So Cali found, they now separated out, and Cali found some communities. I've got them listed. She's got them listed there: Mahama, Savoy, Clinton, St. Joe, Bement, Farmer City, on and on and on. And you can see not what only they brought in, but what their major grocery stores are and their population. So we are going to estimate, with a collection from January through December, collection and disbursement. The state disbursement is about 3 months lagging behind when they get the money. Okay, so you'll see in the next to last right column, Cali's got July municipal grocery tax, MGT collection, April sales. Okay. So the first through January, February, March, they were getting the grocery tax. They didn't disperse it until the April sales. Oh, that makes sense?
So they're dispersing quarterly?
Yeah. It's 3 months behind.
Oh, that's just 1 month, but that's 3 months behind.
Yep, that is April. The last column is May sales in that chart. So at the bottom of this page, due to the state collections and delay in distribution time, we're not going to get a check in January. We're not going to get a check in February or March, right? So I would estimate 75,000 for, if the council so chooses to impose the 1% grocery tax, 75,000 in 2027. Then in 2028 and thereafter, we would estimate we would get the entire calendar year, right? January's distribution would be from 2026, October, November, December sales, right? So 2028, you would witness all year, each month. So we would estimate approximately $100,000 in 2028. Does that make sense?
Is this a conservative estimate again, or pretty?
I think it's pretty close. I mean, I think we would see, $8,000 to $10,000 a month. And then I wanted, because the vote was so close last year, and I think some thought for $50,000, we don't need to impose it, but obviously $100,000 a year, if you put that in reserves, that's $500,000 in 5 years. The administration services part of the budget, which includes legal fees, the annual audit, engineering, and other services, that in 2026 is $123,000. The $100,000 would be pay a third of the total police operations and maintenance, $327,000 and change. Fire and rescue equipment replacement program, if we just paid off the pumper truck, but if you count that, their fire and rescue equipment replacement's about $98,000 a year. It would pay for that. The equipment replacement, air packs and that stuff. The pumper truck, which we paid off a couple years ago, a pumper truck, that's $76,000 each year. And I don't know if that was a probably 10-year repayment. The debt service for Burke Park improvements is $100,000 a year. So, with all of that being said, and not including the grocery tax and the existing added property tax, $300,000. And the budget's in the red, $300,000. And that includes next to no capital improvements or anything. That's just operations. It does include $100,000 debt service for Burke Park. That goes through 2030. So that's part of that 300,000 in the red. The Public Works building and campus improvements is 62,500 each year through 2028. And the only thing added right now for equipment, Public Works, which is Public Works and sewer and water, is a $74,000 annual one-time payment for a new large dump truck. 74,000 comes out of general fund Public Works. 74,000 comes out of sanitation department, and 74,000 comes out of the water department. So those three, water and sewer, that's their own accounts. They don't get general fund, they don't get that money. Right? Keep that in mind. But the dump truck gets used by all three departments. That's why it's split 3 ways. So I wanted to just go over the grocery tax again. I don't know if there's any interest. We do have to pass an ordinance. We do have to do some filing with the Department of Revenue earlier than October 1. So I wanted to touch base on the municipal grocery tax this evening, as well as all those other tax revenue streams. Open it up. I got the finance director with me tonight.
Did you say the budget would be in the red? How much?
300,000.
But you also said that we didn't have any capital. We're not counting Oberheim Park as a capital improvement.
No, Oberheim Park I'm being told, will be paid off this year. The contractor.
Out of reserves, right?
That was
set aside, yes.
But in that, we did spend an extra $250,000 concrete instead of asphalt. As I remember.
Yeah.
I guess what I hear is a push for the grocery tax to help fund things around. But I'm also not here. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm more curious about where we actually are. I hear very, very many years, I hear we're in the red. We end up in the black because you do a great job and you balance it conservatively. But when it comes down to the number, we come out ahead, or come out even or ahead almost every year. Actually more ahead than normal, or else we wouldn't have money in the bank.
Yeah.
So that's when I start thinking about that, I'm like, I have a hard time adding even 1% to our people in this city. It's just me.
It's not just our people, it's those folks that visit, just like the business district tax. It gets the visitors and so on and so forth. If sometimes we can't get to all the projects, sidewalks. I don't know what we budgeted this year, but one of the aldermen wanted to increase sidewalks to like $45,000. We couldn't do $45,000 worth of work. So we ended up at 25, 30,000, whatever it is. So there's a lot of those, drainage improvements that are just kind of a general replacing a culvert here or there, ditching from, along Lone Beach, just miscellaneous draining.
I understand, I recognize, understand, we can always spend more money.
Yeah.
We can always spend more money. I don't know, I'm at a pause about taking more. Every year we do 4.9% on the property tax. We're doing, and I get that we need it, and I get that we can do more. We could ask for a lot more, we could do a levy. I get all that, but I'm like, I just still don't feel quick about doing more, or getting more, bringing more money in that way. Does that make sense? And I know we don't have a lot of other ways to do it. I'm saying that's for me. That's all I'm saying.
I concur.
I'll just add that I really think that getting away from the grocery tax felt like a good thing. I thought it was the principle of it. It's a regressive tax. I'm glad that we stopped it. It does hurt to hear that, we're missing out on that much money, but I think just the principle of it, I was glad that we got rid of it.
I think the thing you have to look at, a big percentage of our income has been CPPRT. In 2022, that was almost 4.5 million. Now we're estimating at 1.6. So that's 8 million less. And we don't anticipate that's going to bounce back. We have no idea.
Oh, no, that was, you remember that? You don't remember that? That was a statewide thing that they were paying all these municipalities,
Right.
the schools, everybody, way more than they should have been.
Right.
And now we are pulling back, and we're getting back to what we used to get.
Right.
So, I mean, we could never count on it.
No, you can't.
$1 million.
Yeah, I mean, all the taxing bodies in Monticello flourished
Yeah.
those couple of years. The school district, the township, Pike County, everybody did that gets CPPRT. In Chicago, they did pretty good too.
They usually do.
Well, my view on the grocery tax was when we made the decision to eliminate it, I just figured we're never going to add it back in. Because now we're talking about it as if something that we're adding or something taken away or something like that. But it had always been there. It was just the state, had decided that they weren't going to do that anymore and leave it up to it. But we weren't adding another tax to people or anything like that.
No,
So,
maintaining.
but now that we've decided to eliminate it, now if we go back and say, oh, we're going to put it back on there, people are going to think we're adding a tax, we're, adding something more. So I just think that, I don't think that the city council will probably decide to ever add the tax on. So I think that's why the vote was tight, because thinking future ahead, at least I was thinking oh, if this goes through, that it's gonna always be like that.
Well, in all, I think the reason why we voted the way we voted last time was because we were thinking of our constituents. So, I mean, it's just one of those, we're thinking about our community and not.
Right. We were oh, we want to give everybody a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, once you give people a break, if you go, well, break time's over, you can't really say that, And so it's not a temporary break. It was going to be permanent.
I agree.
So I'm hearing,
I disagree. I think we should take it back. I always thought we never should have gave it away in the.
I agree. I agree with Tom.
New tax. It was just maintaining, and I agree with what you're saying. Now, if we
Now we look like the bad guys. Yeah.
the back, and some other revenue streams, CPPR or whatever is shrinking. And we have no control over that. It's not a big chunk of money, but it's a nice little steady stream of income that will be there every year, all the time. And anyway,
It'd be interesting, what's the impact on the average consumer?
And you said it was like a tenth of 1% or it
Probably very little.
was very, very little. I remember it was like a tenth of 1% or a 1 cent or I don't know, something.
And as Terry mentioned it too, it's hard to base it off of like per capita with population because, I mean, there's people from out of town going and shopping there. So it'd be really hard to figure out who exactly or what that number would be because it could be a lot of people. It could be a lot more than the 6,000 people that live here in town. It could be, people from Beeman, wherever come to town to shop. So I think it'd be hard to capture that number, but you're totally correct. It would be very low per person.
And we had the same discussion we had at the 1% business tax, and that hasn't impacted our downtown businesses, and we've been able to do all these things just with the 1% tax. So
Yeah, that's a good point. The business district tax was,
that was an added tax.
and it was simply a pass through. It didn't affect the owner.
No.
But
I think at the time, there was a concern that people would not shop. They're like, oh, we don't want to shop there because it's going to be an extra 1 cent. But
Yeah.
have any effect on.
I think somebody had a good example. If you went to True Value, $100 chainsaw was going to cost you $101. So
I'd be in Menards anyway. I don't.
Stop.
Sorry.
It's like buying a candle at Bracket for $35 and it's another $5 or.
I'll just say this again, because I think we're going back and forth on it, but I just said it's a very small percent, but for me, it's the principle of it. I don't like the idea of taxing people on the need to feed their families. So
Yeah.
that's my position on it.
Well, the beauty of it is we get to just talk about it. And right now, we don't have to vote about anything right now.
Right.
Are you done? One more?
I'm done with my part of it. We can still answer questions if anybody has anything else.
What were the towns that voted to eliminate the tax?
Monticello.
Yeah, any other?
So the state eliminated the tax.
I meant, okay, for us, not for towns.
A municipality had to pose
Okay.
the 1%.
What were some of the towns that didn't impose?
That did not?
Monticello.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I just listed the ones from an Excel spreadsheet last year that the Department of Revenue put out that had already passed an ordinance to impose it. And I just went through there and looked at neighboring towns. This came after, I go to lunch with other city administrators and city managers usually once a month. And this topic, it was a hot topic for not only councils and elected bodies, but administrators. And everybody at the table, when I said I don't think we're going to do it, asked me, well, how are you just going to let that money go away? I'm going to recoup it. And I said, I don't know. I don't even know what number we're even looking at. And they didn't know what number they were looking at either. So I just generated that list of town and 400 plus communities was listed on the spreadsheet. But I don't know who did not impose it, Elaine.
okay.
Yeah. And I mean, we're sitting just right ahead of Clinton in regards to population, so it's, Yeah.
More than 656, so more imposed it after I had looked. So over, what did I say, over 400?
Yeah.
So it's over 650 now.
I would guess we're one of the very few, maybe the only one, in a
Probably.
100-mile radius that didn't do it.
I would say that'd be accurate. And that's just being honest. I don't,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You keep saying we're unique.
Alan.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
You should.
I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut and let you guys babble. And then when I get tired, I do this.
yeah, I've had that a couple
Yeah, I know you have. Soon again.
I understand that it's a feel-good kind of thing, but I think we could probably go back and vote again. And it'll be tight, but I think that there's some that we could go
Yeah.
vote again.
so why don't I draft the same ordinance, right? And then bring it to you in the near future. And you vote it down or vote it up.
It'd probably be a tie and I'll get to decide.
Good.
That'd be fun.
So that's what I'll do.
Sounds good.
That's okay?
Yep.
Oh,
You got a lot of background information on it tonight.
at least we've got something to compare it to say what, last time we didn't know what
We didn't have any figures last time. I mean, not even a guess. So at least we have a guess now. So that's good.
Oh, we had a guess. He guessed 50,000. We had numbers.
50,000 is not a very big number. I think that's why we weren't.
It's still a 70, it's 100. It's still in the whole, I mean, I don't want to get back deep into it, but we're talking, our revenue stream is $5.8 million. $100,000 is,
That is not chump change. Because when it stacks year after year after year, you're talking big dollars finally. That's my opinion, not yours. And I understand that.
absolutely.
Mr. Kuhn,
I don't have any.
any reports tonight?
No.
Eric,
I do not.
Rodney?
Tuesday, August 18th is the next blood drive.
Cool. Wow.
Oh,
Do you give every time?
Hmm?
Do you give every time?
No.
We're at,
Thanks for making me say it in public.
where's the blood drive?
It's at the community building.
I used to give all the time, but I can't do it anymore. I always liked giving blood. It's not a big deal. So
Get cookies and juice and
that was the good part. Sandwiches sometimes. Cheese sandwiches. Yeah. Yeah. Tom?
I will be at the blood drive. I give. So, yes.
Cole?
Nothing else, sir.
Okay. Wendy Brosh, you got anything this evening?
Just real quick, school starts for the outlying areas here in a couple of days on Wednesdays. Ours starts a week from Wednesday. We already had our first school safety meeting with school admin last Friday. We're having our first school reunification meeting at the regional office on August 27th. So we'll start kicking that in. We've already been told we may have a tabletop, if not an actual drill here in the next year or so. With the Monticello schools. If you'll remember here about a year and a half ago, we met did one where we live, unification site is at Monticello Christian on North State Street. So we're looking at doing something like that locally. We're going to participate in a community event put on by BrightPoint, their social service agency focusing on family and children. On September 24th, it'll be held at the Public Safety Building, catty corner here. I think all of us are going to be there, plus Kirby, Public Health and Mental Health, I think. So, and then my last thing is we did receive first place in our division for the Illinois Traffic and Safety Challenge. It's a statewide contest. We'll receive our award, equipment, and possibly a new squad car Friday if we win it. So
That's kind of nice.
That's great.
Yeah.
we'll see.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I will be at the blood drive too, and they do serve sandwiches, actually. The ladies, auxiliary over at Kirby, they make sandwiches with snacks. So you can eat up when you're done. We ran 38 calls last month. We did some good training. We did hydrant hookup for some new firefighters, and there's a special way to hook up hydrants, so we practiced doing that. Second week, we did truck-to-truck pumping. That's where you hook up a truck to a hydrant, and then if the fire's too far away, you hook it up to another truck, and it kind of relays all that water up to the place where you need it. And it's specialized the way to do it. Third week, we did vehicle and equipment maintenance on, like we usually do every month. In July, we did 4th of July, as we mentioned last week, the 4th of July fireworks, which actually turned out very well. And then we were at Smoke and Octane with a touch of truck. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions of the chiefs? Mr. Summers?
I have nothing else tonight, Mayor Stoner.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second?
Again.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
See you in 2 weeks.